So I'm 26 years old. I didn't have a kid. I wasn't married. I didn't have plans of getting married at that time. I was obsessed with my career. But eventually in 2007, December 29, my wife and I went on our first date. And in 2008, I had $500,000 in the bank. I had saved, I had cash, I had money in the bank. There's a community I was living in Porter Ranch. Okay, it was called Monterey Estate. Mario, I think I've taken you there before. Monterey Estate in Porter Ranch. It was right off of Winnetka. It's 50 homes in this community. Each lot was a minimum of 2 acres. Hulk Hogan lived there. Eddie Murphy lived there. Lou Diamond Phillips lived there. It was a very good community. And I would always drive by this place, and it was gated from both sides. Security, hardcore security, which I love hardcore security in a gated community. And I said, I want to get this place. So I hired my realtor, bring her in. She takes me. She showed me all these properties. There was 3 properties. Rarely is there a home on sale there. We go look at this property. We go look at this house. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this house. Gated community, gated house, basketball court, tennis court, beautiful pool in the backyard. You could put a party with 800 people in this backyard. How sick it was. The house was gorgeous, immaculate. I come back, I go to sleep, I wake up, I'm dreaming as if I'm in that house. I wake up, I test myself to see how bad I want this house. So as I'm going, I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy this house. Weekend comes back, Sunday comes out, and then I ask the question, Pat, who do you want to be? What are you trying to do, okay? In the company I was, everybody was buying a house. Everybody was buying a house. So they didn't have cash, but they had a big house.
What year was this,
show.
by the way?
This is 2007, which is not a, which by the way is not a bad time to buy a house in 08. It was bad to buy a house in 2005. In 08, the repo's already hit. The market's already taken a hit. I'm in California.
08, 09. Yeah.
08, 09.
After the crash.
40% cheaper. That $2.5 million house is now $1.5 million. What do? I sat there and I said, my dream is not to be a homeowner. My dream is, there's nothing about my dream that has to do with being a homeowner. This much, I can live in an apartment and be on my way to a dream more than living in a house, not be able to be on my way to the dream. So what do? Right. I don't do nothing. Then I see what happens with the company I'm a part of. I watch everybody. I'm like, wait a minute, these guys are not playing offense. These guys are pinning against each other. They're divided. This is not a good place. It's a lot of weird things.
You got your head on a swivel. You're looking around.
And then I start studying and researching every single thing that's going on.
Yep.
You know what I do a year and a half later with that $500,000?
What do you do?
I get invited to a meeting with the top guy in the company. I have a lot of respect for this man, who was kind of planning out either his exit or to renegotiate his contract. If this guy exits, that company's done. Guy that's respected by everybody, in his mid-50s, a church-going guy, LDS guy. I have a lot of respect for this guy till today. He's one of the top 10 men that's influenced my life. I notice he's about to leave. I'm like, okay, if he is the guy that's about to leave, why? And he's the guy that has everything. What am I doing over here, right? So I sat there and I said, you know what? We're going to make a decision. 6 months later, on September 23rd, I woke up. I said, we're going to go start a company. I took my life savings that I had at the time. I put into an insurance company. That $500,000 went all the way down to $13,000.
Wow.
I didn't tell my wife. We were about to lose everything.
Wow.
I'm living at the Summit in Woodland Hills. If you know anything about the Summit is the porn capital apartment complex community. On Sundays, porn stars were by the pool. You couldn't take your kids by the pool. That's
There's no going
Summit,
there for you,
okay?
Joshua. Do not go there.
There was a different kind of baptisms going on Sundays. By the way. You don't want to have your kids over there. It's the kind of baptisms you would have appreciated. It's very spiritual. So I make the decision. I'm living at this apartment. We take this $500,000. It goes down to $13,000. That $500,000 turned into a few $100 million.
Wow.
Okay? What's the moral of the story? Here's the moral of the story. That's my dream. That was my dream. So Jonathan Ventura, you may want to watch this video the second time around, have your wife watch it with you. You guys got to make a decision. Is your dream to make your mama and your daddy proud, to say, look at me, mom, I bought a house at 26? Is your dream to brag to your friends from high school who maybe thought you would never amount to anything, look at me, friends, I own a house? Or is your dream to say, I don't care what I'm doing right now at 26 because this is nothing compared to what I'm going to be at 40.
Boom.
That's the question you got to answer.
That.
If you answer that question, you're on track. If you can't answer that question, you'll be a statistic.
Question for you, follow up. How would your life be differently if you had that dream and you said, you know what, I'm going for it. I'm buying this house. How would your life be different right now?
You wouldn't know who I am today. Let me tell you why you
Talk about that a little
bit. I'll tell you why you wouldn't know who I am today. Because The company I was at was driven by broker-dealers about securities.
FINRA.
FINRA. With FINRA, I'm a Series 7 broker, 663126 life and health, which means I cannot have the opinion that I have today. I cannot make most of the videos that I make today.
You're muted.
I'm muted. Every one of the videos would have to get approved by them, and you can't do that
That's
to me.
it. You're not doing videos.
I came to America to not be muted. You want me to live in a country that wants to mute me and in an industry that wants to mute me?
Welcome
I can't
to
do
FINRA.
that. So if I would have taken that direction, you would have not known Patrick Bay David. I would have just been a guy that would have been known in the insurance and the financial industry. You would have not known.
But you would have had a nice house.
I would have had a very nice house, and my friends would have thought I'm a rock star. But I don't
You
care.
end up
about
living
You would have
in a-
been very upper middle class, and that's about it.
No, not upper
Not
middle.
even that.
I would have been very wealthy. I'd be
Oh, yeah,
making
okay.
$5 million a year right now. I'd still be making money.
Okay, all
but
right.
But I wouldn't have the wealth that I have right now. There's
Right.
not even close to
Okay.
it. It would be 1/10 of what I have right now.
Got it.
But I also, more important than that, is I wouldn't have the voice. And to me, the voice matters so much to me. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be able to do what I did.
So when you were that 28-year-old guy, 29-year-old guy,
2007, I'm 28.
28. So
Yeah.
who did you want to be at that point? You knew you wanted to be an
It's a great
entrepreneur.
question you're asking. So I called all my advisors, every one of them. Bill was one of them. Dudley was another one. I had a number of them. I called everybody and I brought them over and I said, listen, I need your help because my temper was terrible at that time, horrible. When I tell you horrible, I mean the kind of temper that you don't want to see. Like Mario's never seen my temper, obviously, ever. Mario,
No.
what Mario? Your experience with me has been what? It's just been a.
Very kind and sincere.
What's the word you would use? Serenity,
quiet.
like a spa type of music.
Like a Buddhist.
Like if you walk into my office,
Zen.
spa music is
Zen is
playing.
the best word.
Zen.
Yeah.
Zen is the word. I agree.
So hothead. You were 28, 29-year-old hothead. Is that
Hothead.
fair to
But
say?
let me tell you why I was a hothead.
Yeah.
Here's why I was a hothead. I was a hothead because I had no clue what I wanted to do with my life.
Okay.
I was lost.
But
I
you
was-
had money.
I had money. I found my career.
Yeah.
I knew where I was going to go business-wise. I knew I liked business, not liked it. I loved business, but the purpose was missing. So I stepped back and I said, what am I going to be doing? I went and had a meeting with George Will at Miramar Hotel and Larry Arnn from Claremont Institute and John Voight, which you may know John Voight,
Oh, yeah.
and Pat Boone and all
John
these guys.
Voight, the
Pat
actor?
Boone.
Pat Boone.
John Voight, the actor?
Yes, Pat Boone,
From the
John
Seinfeld
Voight.
episode?
Yes, and in 2008, 2009, I'm in Miramar Hotel, and we get up there, and there George is giving a speech, and I'm sitting at the table with Boone and all these guys, and all of a sudden, he comes out, and I say, hey, George, you know, one of my advisors is like, hey, Pat, you got to talk to George. Say, like, this is a guy that's trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. At this point of the game, I don't talk politics. I know nothing about politics. I'm not inspired by politics. I don't follow capitalism. I just know my parents were opposing, and so I studied that part. He says, if you really want to make an impact in your life, why don't you go find out why so many Americans come to America? That's all he said to me. I walked away. So what do you mean, why do so many Americans? What kind of a purpose is that?
Why so many immigrants come to
Why
America?
so many? Why does everybody want to come to America? Why this data that just came out saying the fact that national pride has gone down 42% extremely and 21% very proud to be an American. Republicans' pride is down sharply in the past year. First time extreme pride amongst white below 50%. Non-whites is now 24%. Okay, that's the problem. The whites have forgotten how ridiculous of a country they have. The whites need to go live in another country for 2 years and find out what America's really like. Every American, here's a test for you. Go to Iran, live there for a year. Go to France, live there for a year. Go to Spain, live there for a year. Go to Mexico, live there for a year. Go to El Salvador, live there for a year. Go to these countries and live there for a year. You will come back begging America to give you a green card. Let's take away your citizenship and let's send you to Iran. Let's send you to the Middle East. Let's send you to South America. Let's send you to Central America. Let's send you to Europe with all the socialistic philosophies of 70% taxes while these guys are campaigning Air France. People don't have jobs. There's no money being made. Go live there. Give up your citizenship. We'll give you $1 million. You'll go to France a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, you'll say, please bring me back. I'll give that $1 million back to you, begging to come back to America. People have forgotten how ridiculous this country is. So when George Will said to me, find out why immigrants come to America, I stepped back. I did that. I gave a speech. Mario remembers this. I come back from the meeting. I'm up on stage, and I'm speaking to my office, and I'm talking about fishing hooks. And the fact that this kid, lawyers are ruining America. I'll never forget this talk. It's 19 minutes. I have it somewhere on here. And it's 2009, March when I gave this talk, April 1st when I gave this talk. And it was about fishing hooks. The fact that a kid swallows a fishing hook, lawyers go and sue the company that sells fishing hooks saying you should put a warning sign under they shouldn't swallow this. And then lawyers go and sit around parks seeing kids falling off slides and breaking their arms, going to the state and the city, soon the city saying, kid broke their arm, you gotta, and then the city finally saying, screw these parks, shut down all the parks, and kids are becoming obese. And you're seeing the stats that kids are no longer playing outside because lawyers are suing these cities, and cities are afraid of putting parks out, and now you have to put signs, all this other stuff, because lawyers are ruining America. I said, you know what? I'm not comfortable with that. I want to do something about this. And the solution for me became exactly what brought me to America, which is capitalism. So this whole conversation got started with Jonathan Ventura from Long Beach, who's a stud married guy with a kid, asking what to do with his $45,000 and $170,000 a year income. But the answer to the question is, who do you want to be? If you can answer that question, you're ahead of the game by a mile.